It's safe to say that the majority of gaming that happens in India happens on mobile phones, and not only have we seen increasing popularity of games like Free Fire, BGMI, and even Genshin Impact, but we have also seen the meteoric rise of Indian gaming content creators to a whole new level. And I believe the primary reason for that is the increased penetration of mobile devices in the Indian market on all fronts possible, really, be it the budget devices or the absolute bleeding edge from brands like Samsung. So it naturally made sense for us to review the bleeding edge in the Android space right now, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and check out its gaming capabilities. Samsung is promising big things, including hardware supported ray tracing and the inclusion of the made for Galaxy Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So all of that in this video, we are reviewing the S23 Ultra and its gaming capabilities. Hi, I am Shaurya Sharma. You are watching 1UP Gaming. Let's begin. Let's talk about the specifications, and to begin, let me clarify one thing, that I believe that any portable gaming device, including gaming consoles like the Nintendo Switch, well, they should ideally focus on three main highlights which all brands should execute really well. Those are the SoC or the processor, the screen, and the speakers. And let me tell you, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra has impressed me on all of those fronts, and it's just a very immersive experience. The S23 Ultra is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, but made for Galaxy, which is a fine-tuned version of the 8 Gen 2 that comes with a higher clock speed. So what does that mean? Well, you can expect rock-solid performance in games like Apex Legends, COD Mobile, Diablo Immortal, and more. In Apex Legends specifically, I got a rock-solid 90 FPS at the highest possible graphic fidelity. I did notice some frame drops when there was a lot of gunfire, but nothing to detract from the overall experience. And when it comes to the display, it has this massive 6.8-inch QHD Plus AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120Hz. And trust me when I say this, it has to be some of the very best displays that Samsung has ever made and put on a mobile device. It just makes for a very immersive experience. You have to see it to believe it. And it delivers incredible gaming experiences even in challenging lighting situation, including broad sunlight, thanks to its peak 1750 nits of peak brightness. And yes, the speakers too are also phenomenally executed on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. The highs, mids and lows are well balanced. You can properly hear the footsteps in games like Apex Legends and COD Mobile. It's just a delight to use, and there's nothing really better than the Samsung S23 Ultra when you are not in the mood to wear some headphones and want to enjoy the device as is. Let's talk about synthetic benchmarks now, because let's be honest, no gaming test nowadays is really complete without those. But personally for me, I believe benchmark scores are practically useless. They mislead you and detract you from the overall real world usage you can expect from a device, and here it's no exception. But I know some of you might still be interested in Geekbench scores of the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. So here's that for you. And as expected, the S23 Ultra offers a big jump from the S22 Ultra, as it has solved those thermal issues that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 has been infamous for. So can you expect sustained performance from the Samsung S23 Ultra when gaming for longer hours in games like Apex Legends Mobile and Call of Duty Mobile, which are very graphically intense? Well, it depends. So to test out the real world performance, I played Apex Legends Mobile for 40 minutes straight, around 3 games, under bright studio light without any external cooling, and let me tell you that the Samsung S23 Ultra did not break a sweat and maintained constant 90 FPS without many frame drops. And like I mentioned earlier, you can expect minor frame drops here and there when there is a lot of gunfire all at once, but apart from that, it really maintained a rock solid performance. Now you would ask me, does the S23 Ultra get hot? And the simple answer is yes, it does get a little warm to touch, especially after sustained workloads. But the in-depth answer is shouldn't really worry about the increased warmth as and when you play games, because a chipset like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 can get a little warm, especially after gaming, but it shouldn't worry you. And Samsung has worked with Qualcomm to ensure that those thermal issues have mostly been dealt with, because S23 Ultra was a mixed bag in this opinion. But yeah, those thermal issues have mostly been addressed with the S23 Ultra. You can expect it to get a little warmer, but that's totally bearable and it isn't uncomfortable at all. So yes, this essentially makes the S23 Ultra the definitive way to play games on Android. Like with all products, Samsung S23 Ultra isn't perfect and there are a set of cons that annoyed me a little, but they are nothing to be worried about. So to start with, the curvature of the screen, Samsung may have reduced it a lot, but it still registered ghost touches, and that detracts from the overall experience. And the edges itself, the edges of the chassis are very sharp, so after a while the inside of your palms can hurt a bit, but it's nothing that can't be solved by using a case. So just invest in a good TPU style case for your S23 Ultra and these shouldn't annoy you anymore. So for the next mainline Galaxy Ultra variant, I hope Samsung does away with the sharp corners and opts for a more rounded approach like it does with the vanilla S23 models, and I believe that would make for a more comfortable device. So yeah, that was my full real world gaming review of the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I hope you enjoyed that. But for 1,25,000, which the Samsung S23 Ultra retails for, you can actually get another Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 phone, especially the OnePlus 11, which retails at half the cost. So should you buy the S23 Ultra for that price? I mean, if you want the best screen, the best speakers, and the best overall performance, there's really nothing except the S23 Ultra in the market at the moment. But if you want to save some cash, around 50-60,000, I mean, the OnePlus 11 does also offer some phenomenal performance. So yeah, that was our review. I hope you enjoyed that. I am Shaurya Sharma for One Up Gaming, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.